4 ties total in Big East play. 3 straight draws it's been for DePaul as they were able to score a goal on the vaunted Butler defense, which of course has the #1 defense in the country, as the Bulldogs have a 14-game unbeaten streak and have the most shutouts in the country. While Georgetown is on top of the table, Butler is second, and Xavier is number 3. Those 3 teams have all clinched Big East tournament spots. Providence and Marquette sit next as St. John's beat Villanova on Thursday. Those 3 teams, the Friars, Golden Eagles, and Red Storm, are all in position to take the final 3 Big East tournament spots. The next 2 in line are DePaul and Villanova to challenge for that possible last Big East tournament spot. There's no doubt that the winner of today's matchup will assert themselves in a glorious position to find the postseason of the new Big East tournament style, which utilizes a home field format. The better you finish, the more home matches you will get come the postseason. Which team can make it to November? That is the question, as the Wildcats and Blue Demons are meeting yet again for the 15th time. The Blue Demons have won 6 straight matches. The Wildcats won the first 7 meetings in the series back in the mid-2000s, but it's been all DePaul thanks to Coach Erin Chastain and what she has done in her 11th season. She took the Blue Demons in that magnificent 2014 season to their first ever Big East tournament title, where they had an unblemished regular season, but before succumbing to Wisconsin in a snowstorm NCAA tournament bout. We get to look at Emily Harris, the senior out of New Hampshire, with 3 clean sheets on the year, as Harris puts on a Villanova shirt for the 31st start of her career. A glorious day of weather. It is 70 degrees and unseasonably warm here at Villanova's Higgins Soccer Complex, the 4th year of this new redesigned turf stadium on the west section of Villanova University's lovely campus here in the Philadelphia area. As Alexa Ben, the reigning Big East midfielder of the year, warms her arms, an All-American last year, just the 2nd ever for the Blue Demons. The first, of course, was the great Julianne Stitch, who still holds the points record. Elias Wyatt graduated 2 years ago, set the goals record. DePaul graduated Abby Reed, so not as much scoring for DePaul as years past. And away we go. Which team makes it to the Big East tournament? This quite possibly could be the key matchup in the Big East for today. The Wildcats will utilize a bit of a 4-3-3. Looks like a 4-2-3-1 at times, while the Blue Demons will use what basically amounts to a 4-3-3. The Wildcats will push their flanks and wingers forward from their fullback spots, while DePaul will sit in defensively because of injuries, especially to Avery Hay, the excellent center back. They have been a little bit shorthanded, so DePaul plays most of their starters 90 minutes, while the Wildcats have more depth and will utilize their bench today. That is Daniela Nelson, the freshman from San Diego, to find Jesse Himmel, the sophomore from New York, and out of the reach of Amanda Voselka, the senior forward from Atlanta. DePaul with 2 good center halves in Elizabeth Endy and Sydney Hunt, as Endy has played fullback before but has moved into a central defensive position this year. Here is Claire Fell, one of Villanova's center halves. She works with the tandem of Mandy Wilson, 2 sophomores on the back line in the central part of Villanova's defense. There is Fell out of the Louisville area. Elizabeth Perilli tries for possession, as does Franny Cerny, a great forward who will play the left-hand side as a winger with the way Coach Chastain's forwards will make their runs into the final third. And Madeline Frick will work on the right-hand side, while the freshman Morgan Turner will sit high in the number 9 spot. Here is Turner, negated by Claire Fell, and taken by Alexa Ben, who is so strong. And Madeline Frick, out of Minnesota, just like Elise Wyatt, who set the goals record for DePaul just a few years ago. Here is the right back, Jackie Batliner, out of Barrington, Illinois. And the Wildcats pushing forward. You'll see Villanova use players in different positions. As Lisa talked about, a game of chess, and that means players do move around. Head coach Chris McClain After a glorious 2-year stint as the top assistant at Ohio State, he was hired by Villanova in December. There is Kristen Barbour, the return of the great number 19. Has played forward and center half this year for Villanova. Played midfield quite a bit last season. Here is Emily Kiefler. On for Barbour inside the area. And the defense is sound. Holding mid, a great player for DePaul. Wonderful work that time by Adrian Walker on that last clear for DePaul. Here is Alexa Ben, a dynamite number 10 player who draws the free kick for the visitors. Numbers-wise, Alexa Ben with 4 goals on the season and just 1 assist, although throughout her career she's been fabulous. 72 points, third most in DePaul history. The restart is knocked away by Villanova quickly as DePaul trying to take advantage with quick motion. And won by Elizabeth Endy. And the right back, Jackie Batliner, puts forward, but offsides is Morgan Turner. Last year, DePaul notched a 3-0 win over Villanova thanks to Abby Reed and Alexa Ben. A couple of assists by the departed Taylor Schisler, who started at Ohio State. That's where Coach McClain came from before taking the reins at Villanova. The restart by the Kentucky native, the sophomore center half, Claire Fell. Emily Harris, you can see it. Lisa talked about it in the open, about playing with her feet. They've had to transform the senior goalkeeper into that sweeper-keeper mode for this season. The captain is Connor Huggins. She plays the left-back role today for Villanova. She has played all over the pitch this season. Jessie Himmel, the sophomore. The possession system works. Emily Kiefler working up top with Amanda Voselka and Lauren Frasca. The goalkeeper, senior out of Aurora, Illinois. 4 shutouts, her 33rd career start today. Elizabeth Perilli, the junior, out of Campton Hills, Illinois. And Alexa Ben, a nice touch it is to Turner inside the area. And great defense by Claire Fell and Connor Huggins. But that is Alexa Ben. 70 points, as we mentioned. Only Julianne Stitch and Elise Wyatt have more points than Alexa Ben. And Ben is a great feeder of the ball. There's no doubt about it. 22 assists for Ben all time, the second most in DePaul history, the 16th best total amongst active players. The DePaul record is 26 assists as Perilli and Ben work in tandem at the 18. It is Perilli with a windup. Elizabeth Perilli has her ball blocked by the defense of Mandy Wilson, the center half, and a corner kick it shall be for the Blue Demons. Wildcats have scored 18 goals and yielded 22. DePaul has scored 19 goals and have allowed 18 of them. Their scoring is down, considering last year 45 goals, the 27th most in the country. This year, DePaul has not scored as much, but that is about life after Elise Wyatt and Abby Reed. It's very tough to replace all-stars who were historical players. It's off of Edwards. It's there for Elizabeth Perilli. The redirect is a header. It's in front for Turner, who has notched a goal for the Blue Demons. A glorious touch it is there for the rookie. And the visitors have surged ahead here at Higgins Soccer Complex. A lovely mark it is there by the Minnesota native, and the 3rd tally of the season for Morgan Turner. Another solid look on the header that came in, and a great touch it is for the debutantes. Has one game winner on the season, away by Mandy Wilson. Can 2 or more teams get into the NCAA tournament? That is the question. We just talked about the quality of the conference. When it becomes more of a league with parity, it's tough to get 2 alpha teams into the postseason. 22 straight years that the Big East has sent 2 or more teams to the women's NCAA tournament. There is a certainty that Georgetown will make it no matter what. And the season that Butler has had, I think they will get in no matter what, but it still comes down to how the rest of the field is doing. Are there upsets in other various conference tournaments? Can you sneak in as an at-large bid? Here comes Ida DiClemente, the sophomore forward. Her first appearance was on the All-Big East freshman team last year. There are lots of key sophomores for Villanova, a big group of them, plus Coach McClain's first huge recruiting class for next season, which he tells me is quite promising. So next year, a group of juniors will be the leaders for Villanova, captains like Barbour and Huggins, plus those dynamite freshmen. Here is Jesse Himmel on a great ball that is over top of the bar. There have been cracks today for Villanova. They have not capitalized. The playmaking is there. You can see Villanova connecting the dots in Coach Chris McClain's new possession-oriented system. But Himmel misses. She's great on the ground. Coach McClain has told me number 23 out of New York is one of his most improved players this season. Lauren Frasca looking for another clean sheet. This could be her 5th of the season if the results hold. And a possible breakaway, but offsides, is Alexa Ben as the Wildcats continuing to push forward, playing 4 strikers and trying to play catch-up. So they are exposed at the back at this point in the match. When you're trying to get back into the game, whether you're down by a goal or down by 3, you certainly leave players back there on their own, 2 or 3 defenders at times. Georgetown sits atop the table at 16 points. Butler at 15. Those 2 teams are in action, as we've talked about today. You can watch that as well on the Big East Digital Network. Xavier sits in 3rd place on 14 points. Providence, 13 points, is in 4th place. Can Villanova utilize this run? It's tackled away by Elizabeth Endy, playing in her 77th career game as a Blue Demon. Marquette and St. John's each have 9 points. DePaul has 7, Villanova 6. So there is a good chance that DePaul could leapfrog St. John's in the table today. If St. John's gets a point, St. John's and DePaul could be tied. A chance for Villanova. A great run by the Wildcats on the left-hand side. They were looking for Brianna Austin. A good job by Connor Huggins. She knows how to get forward from her midfield days. They've had her on defense a lot this season. And Villanova comes up empty yet again. Boy, that very well could be an entertaining fixture Thursday. St. John's is currently tied with Xavier. If DePaul has these results hold, they very well could be on 10 points with the Red Storm come Thursday for a win-it-all game. Here is Kiefler, and Villanova is on the board. A crushing blow by the captain. That's how she's done it this year. Deadly is her art form. Emily Kiefler, the mighty senior out of Massachusetts, with her 7th goal of the season. She had another great chance there. She's had a career year for the Wildcats, as Villanova scores against DePaul for the first time since 2014. 70th career game for Kiefler. That is her 9th career tally. What a season she's had. 2 goals against Marquette, 2 goals against Lafayette when Villanova put 5 goals on the board, their most goals in a game since 2008. It's been a turnaround under Coach McClain, but they've had their difficulty in recent weeks. Couldn't take care of business at Creighton. Outplayed Xavier. Xavier got a late goal when Villanova did not have the back protected. It's been counter-defending. We've seen it today. Meanwhile, DePaul has played very well throughout each fixture. We've talked about it. Too many draws. They haven't been able to get over the top. A great ball that is just wide off the boots from Madeline Frick. A great drive there by the veteran winger out of Minnesota. Shooting for the opposite post is a great idea. DePaul has won 2 of the last 3 Big East regular season titles. They're looking to simply get into the Big East tournament. The top 2 teams get a bye. Number 3 plays number 6 in the first round Number 4 plays number 5. And Villanova trying for more here. Voselka touches it down. It's knocked away by Jessie Schmidt. It's Mandy Wilson who runs in, and her ball is deflected for a corner off the boot of Cerny. So the Wildcats building up momentum with 22 minutes remaining as they will call on Sam DePino, one of the seniors who was honored before today, a transfer from American who will come on for Jesse Himmel. Have the Wildcats found their lifeline? Down by 2 goals is very difficult, but they've had chances. It's been a free-flowing sort of match today. The Wildcats have looked dangerous off their corner kicks today. Sam DePino will play short, typically a strategy employed by Villanova under Coach McClain. A great feedback to DePino, and a deflection that comes back for Fell. And the Wildcats really have numbers forward. A flick on, and past Kiefler right into the hands of Fraska. Just 4 wins last year for Villanova. This year they have 6, so it is an improvement. They've scored more goals. Huggins with a strong boot, looking for Kristen Barbour, who runs into the keeper as Lauren Fraska holds her ground. A strong run by Barbour. Trying to knock the ball ajar and knock it loose from Fraska. Lauren Fraska makes good decisions back there. Has put together a good season. This is turned over. Alexa Ben has a breakaway. Ferenzi looks to get back. It is a possible takedown inside the area. What is the call by Michael Lee? That is the question. Is he pointing to the spot? And it appears that is the call. A great chance on the turnover as Alexa Ben is taken down inside the area, and we will see a penalty for the Blue Demons. The Wildcats have finally broken through, but turnovers and counter-defending is still a work in progress. Coach Chastain will call to Alexa Ben, it would appear. She has taken the only spot kick of the season for the Blue Demons and has converted. Opponents are 1 for 1 against Villanova this year from the spots. Last year, DePaul was 2 of 3, as Franny Cerny had one of them a season ago. And a card, a yellow, has been given to Villanova, their second caution of the day. More penalty kicks are supposed to be called this season, according to the new rules to align with FIFA. We saw a lot early in the season for men's and women's soccer. It's been cooled down a bit since. Not as many restarts. Alexa Ben has been glorious today. It is Ben on her second of the day. And the superstar has a double. A brace it is for Alexa Ben, the reigning Big East midfielder of the year, on 26 goals in her career. A delightful finish from 12 yards. She has continued to be one of the top players in the country. On the Herman watch list and a finalist for the Lowe's Senior Class Award. She pumps the fists with authority. DePaul 4, Villanova 1. Chances have been there for both teams today. A much more open game than the other fixtures in the Big East today. All were 0-0 the last time we checked. Franny Cerny working with Alexa Ben. She moves marvelously on the pitch. A great feed. Knocked away by Huggins. Emily Kiefler in tandem with Sam DePino. Second multi-goal game of the year for Ben. She also notched the 2-goal effort against Akron. A foul will give Villanova possession. The Wildcats came close to a second goal, and suddenly counter, a takedown, a penalty. Knocked down by the Blue Demons as Jade Erickson-Russo will start this opportunity as Claire Fell will defend. That's 10 goals for DePaul over the last 3 fixtures against Villanova. Abby Reed, Franny Cerny, and Alexa Ben have done plenty of the damage. And it was Elise Wyatt before that, as Wyatt had 3 goals in her career against Villanova. And Abby Reed also had 3 in her great career against the Wildcats. And we mentioned earlier, Katie Ryan, the former Villanova striker, who's on hand here today to watch this game. She also had a great career against DePaul with 4 goals in her career. Had a small number of reserves this year, no more than 2 or 3 per match because of injuries. But these Demons are mighty. They play a full 90, old school style. Traditional soccer, no doubt, for the Demons. And their players don't seem to miss a beat. Great quality put into place by Coach Chastain. She has done a marvelous job over the years. This is Emily Kiefler battling, and a foul, and the official has pointed to the spot for Villanova, it appears. And the clock will stop with a quarter of an hour remaining, and a wild set of occurrences. Another look here. I thought Kiefler might have pulled down the defender, and they are calling a penalty kick in favor of the Wildcats. A very interesting call by Michael Lee. And Villanova is a step closer. Kristen Barbour is 2 for 2 from the spots this year. And a big chance for Villanova to try to climb back into it again. It is Kristen Barbour who has scored on her return to the lineup. A beautiful finish on the spot kick by the captain. And the Wildcats are suddenly right back into the match against DePaul. It is Blue Demons 4 and Wildcats 2 on the 3rd goal of the season by Kristen Barbour. The 9th career goal for the great midfielder from Colorado. And the Wildcats are suddenly in business, shockingly, after being down for most of this match. And they first half that saw chances, but it was much tighter. This has been a free-flowing, open match to watch. I'm sure a bit painful for coaches at times, but very entertaining for the fans watching.